Hey guys, welcome to this quick little video showing you guys how everything is going to work come playoff season. We're going to go over the LBLCS playoff format for all the leagues. We're going to explain them briefly. Some of them we really don't have to touch on for too long. One or two of them we might want to talk about in a little bit more length because they're going to be so different from the rest of the playoffs. So, for the following leagues, you're going to have a pretty standard 8-team bracket that's double elim. So that's CEO, Executive Division 1, Executive Division 2, and those two leagues are having separate playoff finals. Actually, just entire playoffs, just completely separate playoffs. So unlike last season where we combined Com D1 and Com D2, we're not doing that with the Executive this year. We are going to do it with Com, and we'll get to that in a little bit. And Financial is the other league that is a double elim 8-team bracket. Your seeding for this is based entirely on your position in the table at the end of the regular season. And for all leagues, and we'll talk about this later as well, for all leagues, if anyone is tied with you, your records are tied, and you went 1-1 in the regular season, which is only possible out of these 4 leagues in Financial, then you'll have a tiebreaker match. It's very unlikely this happens. It does happen in some leagues. Ridiculously enough, 3 teams were dead tied, and they had all 1-1'd each other in Com last season. So it does happen, but it doesn't always happen. So we'll cross that bridge when we get there, and there'll be a whole document about it, as well as a document that highlights all of these things as well. I just thought it's the best idea to make a video for you guys. Commercial Division 1 and Commercial Division 2 are different this year because it's double elimination with 16 teams. So this is going to be a huge playoff bracket. So for specific reasons, we're not going to stream some of these games. So the first round or two in both the winners and the losers bracket is going to be only streamed if possible. There's not going to be a set date. So this is going to be the only playoff that has no date at all whatsoever until you get to the later rounds, and we'll talk about that. We'll have something like you have to play your round 1 match by, July or August 20th or whatever the week is that you guys end near. We'll discuss time restraints, but we won't push you to be 8 o'clock on Thursday night on August 17th or whatever it is. We're not going to do that with you guys for the first couple rounds, and there will be a document coming out that just explains exactly when we will start carrying, depending on how deep we get, because we have a lot of games to get through, and we're making everything double elim around in Season 6. The confusing one, and I'm saying confusing because it's different, it's not actually confusing, but the different one is Economy. Economy, there's 3 groups of 5 teams. In each group, you're basically doing a double round robin, so you're going to play each team twice. That means you're going to have 2 bye weeks in this 10-week system. Important to note that you can scrim other teams in other groups here. So at the same time that Team Nut has a bye week, so will in a speed run, so will Silver Drillers. So you can scrim cross leagues, or cross groups rather. But as you can see, the first 2, it says winners bracket. Everyone is in the 3rd position. It says wild card, and the losers bracket in that light purple color, they will go to a losers bracket. So everyone makes it to playoffs in Economy League. Your positioning drastically gives you advantages or disadvantages come to playoffs. Obviously, one being you get to start in the winners bracket, so you do get an extra life kind of. The wild card, we'll talk about in a minute, but just to show you what this looks like. Winners bracket, the top 2, they go straight into winners bracket round 1. As you can see, they just advance right into there. First seeds won't play against other first seeds, but that's the only thing that we are promising for that. There will be a document showing you exactly, Economy League Group B 1 seed plays against Economy League Group C 2nd seed. So whatever it is, it will be written out in advance, so you'll know which league you should probably be scouting if you've locked in a certain position on your regular season there. the 3 third-place teams basically get put into an MLB-style wild card. So the top 2 of those, ones with the best records, that means the most amount of points, that means they've won the most amount of games, lost the least, they are going to be advancing to that winner's bracket round 1. And the team that is the weakest out of the 3 will be advancing to the second round of the loser's bracket. And that's important to note. It's not going to be the first round of the loser's bracket. The 4th and 5th seeds, those 6 teams, that's the first round of loser's bracket. So important to note that 3rd place team still gets a bye in the conventional sense, but they're still starting in that loser's bracket. If there are ties in the wild card, that will also be discussed. You just simply are going to play a one-off, or if all 3 are tied, we'll do what we did with the commercial teams that had that same issue in Season 5. So in this instance, let's say that Fly High Honda Civic and Meowington Inc. are the 2 higher-seeded rank 3 teams. They're going to get put into winner's bracket round 1. Continuing from there, talk about the 4th and 5th seed again. Those teams from each group are slotted into the first round of the loser's bracket, so they're all going to play each other. And whoever loses in that round will be eliminated entirely, and I'll go back and reiterate if I haven't. Everything except for finals are a best of 3. Loser's bracket final is a best of 5, and bracket final, winner's bracket final is a best of 5. And if the team that hasn't lost yet loses, there's no reset. So you just lose at the end if you lose the winner's final. But back to this right here, loser's bracket, these 6 teams are going to play each other. I'm going to show you a big picture of what this all is going to look like if we put it all together at once. In this instance, we have our teams. I'm showing you who's winning and who's losing and where they're going to. So NA Speedrun, Team Nut, Kilt Co., Fly High Honda Civic are all moving down to that loser's bracket round 2 if they lose in the winner's bracket round 1. And then from there, it kind of continues on as though it is a normal double elim tournament. You will notice that Limitless Eclipse is that third number 3 seed. So they are slotted in. They had that bye to the second round of the loser's bracket. So they still get to play in the playoffs. It's just a little bit later. They have to wait an extra week or so. All of the dates for everything will be released pretty soon, probably right around when the season does start, so you guys can start planning accordingly. It's going to be about 3 months in advance you're going to know when you're going to play and when you're not. So really important to look at that, make sure you know when you should play, what are the possibilities of us going deep, and how many weeks is the playoffs going to go for us. We're going to try to get a lot of playoff games in the middle of the week as well as the weekend, so hopefully we can pack a lot of those in there. So just to reiterate everything, they'll have easy-to-follow Google Sheets. There'll be visual representations of how they work, including what CEOs wear, who they play against, and what time and what day they will play, like I just said. Most of this will be pre-planned, and you just show up for your game if you know of a problem that is going to happen. Like, hey, our guys straight up cannot do this day. This is the worst day for us. We all are firefighters, and we all work on this Saturday. You give us 72 hours notice at least, we can move times for people. We can just work together as a community and figure out the best times, because we want all of our playoff games that can be streamed to be streamed, with the exception of that first round of the commercial league. Roster lock-ins are going to happen well before playoffs start, usually a few weeks before. If you guys have any questions about how playoffs are going to work or what we're going to do in lieu of people not showing up, you don't show up to a game and you don't communicate, you lose the game. If someone doesn't come, you only have 4 people, you're probably going to lose the game because you can't get an e-sub for playoffs. No e-subs, no people coming in last minute. They got to be on your roster when we lock the rosters. So please make sure you have subs that are ready to play and can play in case of emergency. We also post about all of this stuff several times before playoffs come. We're going to remind you about this video. We're going to re-show you the PDFs that are going to come out pretty soon. We're going to highlight and go back to them and mention the importance of them. So please, please, please care about these sheets. They do matter. This video matters. It gives you a little rundown on how it works. If you're brand new to the league, hopefully this was helpful. If you've been here a little bit, hopefully you understand how Economy League is working if you're in that league, and can understand the difficult of streaming all of those commercial league games. That's going to be a lot of games strictly in the commercial league. It is always our goal to get as many teams in streamed before playoffs that we can. This is our biggest season yet, so we have well over 70. We have more than 71 teams. I can't remember if it's 72 or 73, but we have a lot of teams here, and it's just really important to remember all the teams that have been here, all the teams that are going to come in. If you have been around for a while, please, please, please remember that other people might be confused. Just help them out, guide them in the right direction. It's way more fun if we're all on the same page, being competitive and having good competitive integrity. Again, if you guys have any questions, DM me, Buggleberry Finn, on Discord. Other than that, I hope this was helpful. And it was only like 11 minutes. I tried to rush through it a little bit. You might have to rewind it if you missed something. Peace.